G'day, welcome back. Hey, I thought I'd do a video today on some engine work that I'm doing. I tried googling what I was doing, got a water leak but on the engine, but I was couldn't find anything on the internet, so I thought I'd make a bit of a video and show you what I've been doing. So this is our boat. This is the engine room down here, so we'll go down and have a look. There's a couple of 3208 cats, and so yeah, there's two of them. Now what I had is I had a bad water leak in this engine, and I just had to do some elimination. I had Cat come and have a look. They did a pressure test and come up with all these hoses here. Most of them were leaking a little bit under pressure. When I actually had the engine running, there was no leaks, but I originally thought it might have been a blown head gasket, which I freaked out about because that would be a big job to do a head gasket. But anyway, so Cat suggested to take off all the exhaust manifolds, one on each side, and check those first, get them pressure tested, and change all the hoses while you had them off. But I thought, no, it's got to be an easier way than that. So so what I did is I thought I had to do some elimination. So down in here, I'll show you. Down in here is this is the exhaust. Not much room to move in here, but so you got your heat exchanger up here. Water comes in from the seacock here, in through the pump, into the heat exchanger, and it cools down the coolant that's in here, and the coolant runs through all the motor, through these jacketed exhaust manifolds, goes down here and goes around a bend there, up into there. Turn the light on, give us a bit more light. Up into there, and then goes. All this is water cooled as well with the coolant. All this area here, the turbo housing, and then and also it goes into all these coolers at the back here, where for your gearbox and all the rest of it. So, well, this is what it looks like on the other engine actually. That's it. That's the bend there. So that's the exhaust manifold, and that goes through. This is what it looks like on the other side of that motor. So each side's got a bend like that and goes into the turbo housing there, and keeps everything cool. So what I did was I thought, I'll take those bends off and have a look. Like, I took the bends off and had a look up inside there. All looks sort of normal, little black soot where the exhaust goes through, so all the exhaust fumes go out there, and that's the water jacket on the outside, so all that keeps cool with the coolant. So what I did is took the bends off, and I thought I'd make up these plates. Just made up plywood plates to go on the end, and things like this hose here I had to eliminate that too. So I just stuck a plug in there with a hose clamp, and same as in here. It's pretty hard to see in here. Let's see that there. That there's actually got it's like a crossover tube between the exhaust manifold and the bend, and I just plugged that off with another wooden plug. So basically it would eliminate anything, because what I was doing is I was losing coolant just by having the motor sitting. So it didn't even have to be running, so it was pretty bad leak. So to eliminate all from this part forward, to eliminate all that, I just put those plugs in and put plates on each side. This is the same as the other side, and then filled it up with water, filled the tank back up with water, and left it for a week, see if I was going to lose any water, and I didn't lose anything. So, and I also took this hose here off. This is the hose that goes from the raw water, the seawater that comes in, goes through the heat exchanger and cools the fresh water down, and then it goes out through the exhaust. So it goes from here through that hose, and it goes out into the back of the exhaust there and gets pumped out into the ocean. So I just took that off as well, so I could see if anything was leaking back through the heat exchanger and leaking out the exhaust and disappearing. But so yeah, I did all that, so it was good. So now I've eliminated it to be somewhere from here back, so somewhere in all this area at the back here, which is all the turbo housing and where the exhaust goes out the back. So I'm going to take the exhaust off and actually just tie that bit up, so it doesn't flop down and fill the boat with water, and then have a look in through the back of the exhaust and see if I can notice anything leaking out there, because the water would always go down to about sort of this level. I'd probably lose like about 10 litres of water overnight just sitting there. So it's sort of through that level somewhere in the engine and going back out the exhaust. So yeah, it's taken a bit to do, but yeah, big job. But I thought I'd give it a go myself, because it costs a fortune to get anybody to do it. So yeah, I'm going to take all these plates off now, plates that I made, and get into taking the exhaust off, and I'll let you know how I go. Welcome back. Thought I'd take a video of the turbo housing for you and show you exactly where my water leak problem is coming from. This is the exhaust side of the turbo, so the exhaust pipe hooks onto there, and anyway, so I've taken the turbo off and took the turbo apart, put a plate on the bottom here. That's just like what I did over there. Just put a plywood plate there with a bit of rubber, and then just bunged off. I had these little bungs in the boat, that off, and then I filled the turbo housing up from this point, and straight away that's what's happening. So leaking out water right there, look. So that was my problem all the way along. So it slowly got worse and worse, and I actually had Cat here and did a pressure test on the system to try and see where it was coming from, and after they did the test, I was losing water with the motor just sitting, because it was only losing water slowly after a while running the engine. But after they pressure tested, they must have put a bit more pressure in the system, and popped out where the corrosion is. So then I started losing water just by sitting there, and so I thought it must have been a pretty bad leak, and so at least I've found it now. That was a mission just trying to find it. So now, unfortunately, I have to buy another one of these, so I'll have to look around, talk to people, see where to get them from. I've seen one on eBay, not cheap, but anyway, This is better than the head gasket. Alright, I'll take that to pieces and try and find a new one.